Welcome to We Tried Being Nice. Lordy Lordy, look who's 40. Well. I think we're 2 days in? How does that feel?
Um, I think I do feel a little older. Like I should be more responsible in my life. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a couple more months before I know what that feels like, so I'm going to take full advantage of not being responsible.
Do it. It's it's your best option right now because there's no excuses after this.
What hurts today other than your pride and your ego?
Let's see. My knees have always hurt, so that doesn't really count. Um, you can't just go eat whatever you want at this point. It actually upsets your stomach.
Oh,
So I actually have to think about what I eat. That's no fun. I hate that part.
I know.
But
You get like the bubble guts and you're like, ooh, in a meeting and you're
yeah,
like, sorry guys.
you never had to think about that before, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh
Your
my
pants
gosh.
start fitting tighter and you're like, what? Now I understand
Yeah.
why they have the stretch in them.
Or for me, like if you've anyone on here who's ever actually seen me in full, like my hips just get a little bigger. Maybe I'm not getting bigger anywhere else.
Just add a little inches to
Oh,
the hips. It's all right.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
so since you're 40, can you explain what's the most middle-aged thing you've done lately?
Well, first of all, I'm a driving instructor. So everything I do is a little middle aged. Like now put both hands on the wheel and everything I say comes off that way. There's
I
no
feel
hope
like
for me.
what is that commercial where it's like you're trying to not be your parent, but you're turning into your parent?
Progressive one.
That's
Yes, that's
you.
so me. I'm like
Mhm.
watching those commercials. I'm like, what do you mean? What's wrong with that? Like, that's what I do.
You're like, so? So?
Yeah. Am I supposed to not do that?
What do you mean?
Yeah. Oh my
So
gosh. I
last part of the
definitely,
birthday roast session, what is the funniest I'm definitely 40 Google search you've done lately?
you know what? I bruise like way easier. It sounds so silly, but like I was out with my friends and when they drove me home, apparently when I got in the car, I like tried to be all cool and like hop in their car. I know. I don't know how I managed to mess that up, but I did. And I had the biggest bruise like on my arm for like 2 weeks straight. So I bruise super duper easy now, and I look like I'm just constantly being beat up every which way. So embarrassing.
Sucks getting old.
Mm-hmm.
So so what are some things that like by 40 we thought we'd have? I know for me, like I thought I'd have it together more. It wasn't more like tangible things. It was just like I thought I would be to together.
Um, honestly, I never really thought like that. Like 40 was such a big deal, is such a big deal for me because my mom and my sister were diagnosed before 40. And my sister died at 36 and my mom died at 41, 42. But the fact that they were diagnosed at 33 and 34 was huge. So I've had this cloud over my head like if I make it to 40, if I make it to 40. So this birthday was so huge for me because I made it. I'm alive, but I also didn't get cancer as far as I know at this point. And it's such a huge accomplishment to me. So for me, that was my number one goal. It's like a cloud over my head, but I made it. I'm good. So if I get cancer after 40, well, I made it to 40. We're all right. That's kind of
You
my
know what?
goal.
Made it this far, okay? But we're not going to put that in the atmosphere. So, okay, so what is something you thought that by 40 you'd already had like have stopped by doing by now?
I don't know that there is anything. Okay, look, I'm really bad about, I think too much far ahead, right? My family would say I'm an old salty vet because I was 13 going on 30, you know what I mean? So I've always been the older at heart and soul kind of person, but I'm really bad about like catching cues. Like I have to ask people, like, should I be embarrassed when I said that? was that bad? Like, I am not self-aware of some things. Like we had talked about before, like people might have been bullying me, people might have been mean to me, and I'm like, hi, how are you? Good to see you. Like, I
So
miss
the
everything.
the older I get and like the more I like progress in leadership, the more I realize that I am, and I'm not diagnosing myself, but I am that I'm somewhere on the spectrum. Very just toes dipped on the spectrum, but I do also relationship cues, like some things that I'm like, I know I'm weird, but it's like, I don't know how else to not be socially awkward.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And people think I'm being funny, and I'm like, no, that's me.
Problem, right. Like for me, it's a problem I didn't know was a problem, so I just keep winging it.
Yeah. So what is something that you're still doing that you thought like I never thought I'd still be?
I thought I'd be. This is gonna sound silly. I guess I thought I'd be a little bit more mature, even though I was kind of mature. So for my birthday, for the past 4 years, every year I rented the biggest water slide that I could find. So I've done it every year, and I did it this year too, thanks to my brother. And it's 19 feet tall. And I wish I would have recorded this. It would have been the most embarrassing thing. I'd probably be like the most embarrassing meme, but I do wish we would have recorded it. The first year we got it, my big old butt, I'm getting up there, dude, and I've got like 10 kids behind me. It takes a lot of strength to pull yourself up. Like, it's no fun.
Yeah.
So I'm getting up there, and sure enough, I lose my grip or whatever. I just couldn't do it, I suppose. And I like a bowling ball to a bunch of pins. I hit every child behind me. I took them all out. So every year, that's the thing. Like, don't go behind mom because, she's going to take you out. Luckily, I do a little bit of squats before to make sure I can make it up
I
nowadays.
prep
But
every year.
yeah, every year I do it. And so that was something I didn't think I'd be playing basketball with the kids like I do, frisbee, swimming, slides. I guess I thought I would have grown out of that like a normal adult that I know of. But no, like, so it's not a negative thing, but I'm glad that I'm still going on slides and doing fun things with the kids. So,
Yeah. I like to embarrass my kids. Like I'll especially like randomly just talking to people in the grocery line or something, like or just wherever we're at, they're like, oh. I'm like, no, it's okay. Like we're good. They hate it. They hate
yeah.
it. So I do it more. Yeah. I just thought like when I was little, I thought adults knew what they were doing by 40. Like I thought like sooner than 40, but I thought for sure by 40 they were like,
Yeah, they had it down pat, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't. We
And
don't.
then that also makes me like realize when we're judging our parents, like we have to realize that our kids are going to be judging us for the mistakes that we're making and things like that. So we do have to hold grace for people, and that's sometimes hard when we're looking back because we were hurt or we were, it was traumatic or whatever, however we want to phrase it. Um, but we have to hold that grace for people because we're going to need it held for us at some point, right? Because I know I don't have this shit figured out.
I have become more territorial. I say older, right? But what is definition of older once you've hit the older tier?
Right.
But I'm super territorial of the elderly now that I am older. And I do give a little grace and I do a little more understanding. So for my birthday, right? I'm like, put me to bed. I was so done for. And they were going to put a movie on for me, and it was The Beekeeper. I don't know if you've seen that one. In The Beekeeper, they are mean to elderly people, and they take advantage of them. So apparently, I was like, yeah, put The Beekeeper on. It's like $20 to buy it. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I am mad. This happens in the movie. And I'm like going off about like pretty much the movie. And it's kind of violent because it's John Statham is like kicking butt and taking names. You know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
don't be mean to elderly people. and it makes me angry. So that's kind of my don't mess with my kids and don't mess with the elderly.
Yeah, and like when it comes to kids, it's just like even not a like my heart can't go there type thing. Like I can't work in environments with children and stuff like that because of the hard times. Like I can't do that,
Mm-hmm.
but I do. I work with seniors every day, and I feel like no matter what my role is, like that's my job is to be their advocate. And I tell the families that too, like
Right.
I'm here when you're not. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So prime example, I was in a hospital yesterday. So you're here with, physicians, and it's an infectious disease doctor. So he sees pain every single day, and he sees demented patients every single day. And so he's asking this gentleman who has dementia, who has some gnarly abscess, right? Two, one in his knee, one in his armpit, which is not in a like very fun spot, and they're inflamed.
Yeah.
And he's asking him, "Are you in pain?" And he's like, "No, no." But every time this man moves, I can tell he's in pain, right? And so finally, I told the doctor, I said, "Sir, he's not a reliable historian." And then it like clicks to him and he's like, "Oh." And I said, "Every time you ask him that, he's going to tell you no because of the nature of the disease. However, if you look at his facial expressions, it is telling you a different story. He keeps telling
Right.
you he's sore. That is his way of telling you he's in pain." So he got a medicine. But I'm like, why am I having to break this down to someone that has a freaking, he's a doctor.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm really glad you said that because I feel like it brings to a point that we should really hit on the social cues or just expressions and reading people. We talk about people pleasing and stuff like that, and I find myself doing that even when they're not saying anything because I'm so aware of people's emotions. I'm aware of people's expressions that even without trying, the people pleasing happens no matter what. Now, I'd like to say it's like also my superpower because, like you said, all you got to do is look at the person, take a breath, and pay attention to what they're telling you. And that man was in pain.
It
But
is
yeah,
if you
that's
can
definitely
ground
something
yourself
I
from
do.
taking on. You have to separate
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and that's the hard part.
Right, right. Guilty. But
But yeah, you're right. It is a superpower if you can separate yourself. Um, I too have this superpower. I think that is why people with dementia relate so well to me. I have a knack for being able to communicate with some people that are very resistant to care, and I've always had just a way. Children and animals are always drawn to me too, but people with dementia know me. And they don't know me. Like they've never even met me. I'll walk into a facility, they've never met me. I've never been there before. And they're like ready to go with me. Like, you know what I mean? They're just like they know me, or they think they're related, or whatever the case may be. But I think part of it is because we're friendly to them. But also I think it's because they know that we can feel and we can understand without them having to verbalize.
right.
There's that like knowing without knowing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The downside though is like if I am drained, like if I have like 3 customers a day, I'm drained. It doesn't take much because I
For
take
sure.
on a lot of it. So the downside is the the exact opposite. If I am drained, I am not fully mean, but I am not patient like I should be anymore. I'm just like, I don't give a shit, figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's definitely pros and cons to it, but it does, we talked about patterns last time. It definitely brings back to patterns. And I need to find that happy medium between the two for sure. So that
Mhm.
I'm not giving all of myself in either direction.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because my husband Todd, over the weekend, we were kind of going back and forth about something, and he was telling me that he's like, when you spend time with a certain person, you come home and you're exhausted. And he's like, I don't need to know what you guys talked about. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. You're exhausted. And that tells me
Yeah.
everything. And I'm like, okay. So like I don't even need to say how I'm feeling. Like you know what I mean? And it's the truth. And so
Yeah.
we do have to learn that separation. And it's not that that person's bad. It's not anything. It's just that sometimes people have a lot going on in their life, and you
Yeah.
want to help them, and we take that on, right? And we can't take that
Right.
on. And that's the hard part is
Yeah.
and for me it's not even about people pleasing anymore. It's literally the genuine want to help other people. And I don't think that comes from a people like that does fill my cup, but there are relationships that are worth investing in, and there are relationships that are not worth investing in.
I would hope that I had figured that out by now completely at 40. But that's definitely something I'm still working on to gauge and understand where your energy can and cannot go and where it should and should not go.
Yeah.
And being able to say, it's okay for me not to give you this piece of me or this energy of mine. That makes
Right.
sense.
And I almost even hate or cringe at the saying benefit of the doubt anymore, because I feel like that's a curse, right? I feel like because that's what I'm guilty of, that's yeah. So um yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so things we're leaving in our 30s: people pleasing, chasing people, over explaining, toxic relationships, and guilt for saying no.
Yeah. I'm there is one song. Ooh, I wish I would have written it down. There's one song that I had made, and oh, I wish I could look it up really fast. But basically, the song kind of goes on about, trying to be with someone or trying to be that person, someone. And then it says, yes, but safe lets you say no. And it's that was huge to me because I just thought it was like a norm or how it should be. But when I wrote that one part, it was like, okay, if I don't feel safe enough to say, I don't feel comfortable with this, I don't want to do this, I don't like it, and I'm not going to, and not be convinced otherwise, that is when you feel safe enough with that person.
Yeah.
That was huge to me.
Well, and I think like, our patterns are a little different. So like mine, I chose partners that I outgrew quicker, and they were safe to leave, and things like that. But like, you know, Todd has asked me, he's like, just communicate with me. Communicate what you need. Just just to even have a partner that cares enough to ask. I'm like, "Oh, okay. That's really like okay, like okay. I don't have to be worried about saying no or hurting
Mm-hmm.
feelings or whatever, because like he's just genuinely like, no, I just need to know." And it feels so good when there's just like not the bullshit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to read between the lines. What was that?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, I'm not good at reading anyways. Like I got dyslexia, and it's like, don't ask me to do all that, you know?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, that was a big one for me. I think we hit on some of the other ones already, but being able to say no is big for me. And I'm definitely ready to move in that direction because I feel like I understand a lot more. Like, divorce sucks, right? But what the divorce that I just went through, the relationship I just went through, is only going to make me a better person
Yeah.
and a better Alma. And, it's not just to knock him for whatever he did and whatever I did. I'm not perfect. But definitely being able to say, what can I take from this in a positive manner and how can I grow from it? I would much rather look at things like that than just continue to be
Oh, I went
angry.
through a divorce. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Eeyore.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no Eeyores for me. I don't want to do that.
We don't Eeyore here. Like, no. Stop.
No pobrecito.
Pick up your bootstraps and like smile a little bit or something. Fake it till you make it, because it will get better.
It does. It does.
And the
I
thing is
remember.
like, I was trying to tell, so like, I still have like former employees from the buildings I've worked at, like all over Columbus, that still reach out to me. And like, they're just like girls that are going through it. They see my TikTok, so they know like I'm a safe space that they can come through, and they're like, this guy broke my heart and all that stuff. So I just try and like give encouraging. They're young girls, they're in their 20s, and I'm, just trying to be like a listening ear. But like some of them,
Right.
I'm just like, I think back to when we were that age, and still to this day, like, I don't even remember where I was going with this, but I just wish that, like, I'm going to say this again because I know I've said it every single time we've been on here. All of us are in our own heads about the same thing, and we're all worried about each other. And like, if you're hurt, if you're stressed about something, there is someone that gives a shit. There is someone that will listen. Um and being a nice person is not a bad thing. There are people that will take advantage, yes.
Yeah.
But you have to find your right people and your right tribe.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's when you are in a point where you can say no to somebody or you can recognize whether your energy is drained, that's your indication on whether or not that is your tribe, if that really is your people. Because honestly, I had to start asking myself, what fills my cup? I fill everybody else's cup. What fills mine? And I couldn't answer that question.
Mhm.
I really couldn't. So,
Did you know
yeah, I
I
got
like
to
making candles? That's something that fills my cup.
really.
Yeah, it's weird.
But okay, let's say you couldn't make candles. You're busy. You got stuff to do. What is your quick fill your cup? Like go get a shake or a smoothie or something. Like what fills
Diet
your cup?
Coke every day, every
Really?
day. Gas station Diet Coke. Uh.
Yeah, I need to figure mine out. There's not always going to be a dog around for me to hug him and squeeze him and love him all over.
There might be though.
I'm such a creeper. There'll be like a person, like really hot person, right? No shirt with a dog. I don't even notice the damn person. I'm
You're
like,
like,
hey,
get out of the way. Let me see the
I like
dog.
your dog. Can I pet your dog? Be
That's
embarrassing here.
hilarious. I know. Well, you've always been that way though. Like, I can't even say that that's
Yeah.
changed. That's not a 40
No,
thing. That's a things you're just
just
taking your whole life.
straight Alma.
Um
Yeah.
so some things that we're taking into our 40s: confidence, check.
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries, check, 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 check.
Working on it.
Yep. Self-respect, check.
Yes.
Real friendships, check.
Yes.
Stretching before activities, check. I've never
No
stretched
check.
before activities.
No check.
I'll risk it for the Charlie horse.
I am so bad about that. And I used to be a coach for cross country and track, so you would think that that was something that I was like, guys, this is what we're gonna do. Listen to what I say, not as I do.
Yeah. Did I ever stretch? No,
No.
because I'm great.
didn't didn't you
Hello.
do the hurdles or something like that?
High jump, because I'm
You did the
great.
high jump.
Yeah, you don't need to stretch for high jump. Come on. You only throw out your back.
No big deal. You're
No
tall.
big deal. So, all right. So we grew up in Las Cruces. It's a border town. We're like 45 minutes from the Mexican border. I like to tell people in Ohio that because they flip the fuck out. Like, I grew up in the wild, wild west. I'm like, yeah. Like, I went to Tequila Derby when I was 18, like where they're beheading people now in Juarez, and like that's where we partied. And they're like, what? And I'm like, one time I ate tacos out of this cart, and I don't even know what kind of meat I ate.
You're such a rebel.
They don't care. They're just like, what? Yeah, that's how crazy I am, right?
hmm
No. So what's your favorite childhood memory growing up in Las Cruces?
Gosh, I don't remember very much. Let's be more specific. When it comes to like childhood, young, it's spending time with my family. Um, it's the stereotypical Mexicans. They sneeze and they have parties. It's true. I loved that part of my life because you just spent time with your cousins. Like my past favorite time was just spending time with my cousins. It was an absolute blast, and the connection we made. And the parents would leave us alone because they're all sitting at the table drinking or hanging out or whatever, and we got to, live our lives. Do
That's when we
silly things.
learned
Yeah, like those Red
all the
Ryder little
things.
bicycles. Grandma had
Yeah.
this mean old steep hill, man. You go down that thing all fast. Oh, I tore myself up, but I
And
got up
then
and did
those
it again.
cousins turned to drinking buddies as we grew older.
And you still have cousin parties. Yep.
And you still had cousin parties, but they turned into a different kind of cousin parties.
I'm telling you, I had an absolute blast as a child.
Yeah. No, mine was same. Like we would so my cousins lived in Deming, but it's not far. And then we would go to like the desert there and drink and have little bonfires and then go back to their house and go swimming or whatever. But like it was wild, but it was fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, spending time with family, like I agree. It's sad because like we're not all close now, or I'm not close
Mhm.
with really anybody. But it's just because I'm terrible at keeping up with people. It's just my trait, my bad habit. I'm terrible. If you text me, I'll respond. I'm great at that. Um,
Yeah.
but I am just not good at reaching out. Um, but yeah, what is your most embarrassing memory?
Let me go back 1 second. Um, I think it's funny that you and I have been able to stay friends for so long because I'm the same way. I need to learn to nurture my relationships, reach out here and there. But luckily, we're on the same page and we're like, oh, hey, it's fine.
I think
And we
we
just keep
understand
talking.
each other. There's no
Yeah.
judgment. Yeah.
No. My worst memory.
Embarrassing.
Oh, embarrassing. um, Well, I got into a fight in like eighth grade. I don't know if you were around or if you remember that. I wouldn't even call it a fight. It's really silly. Actually, this girl hated me, and we're at White Sands, and I'm like, yeah, it's the end of the year. We're totally all cool now. So, like, we're all pushing each other down the hill. I don't know. That's what we did.
Hmm.
I grab her leg, and it turns into a fight. She, like, wants to fight me. And you know me. I'm, like, so non-confrontational, just really nice. Well, my other friend grabs her and says, no one touches my Alma. And so she starts beating her up. And then the other one's like, no one touches my Nana. That one grabs her and starts, and I'm just standing there like, I blacked out. Okay. I'm like aware and know like things are happening. I'm doing things, but I don't remember. I like blacked out. And the most embarrassing part about it was the fact that when I went home, my new nickname was Hispanic Panic and or Crooked Nose Pocahontas, like legit, like my siblings gave me some names. So to this day, like my I don't know what those called, those names on PlayStation, whatever those things are called, it's
Hmm.
Hispanic Panic. So yeah, getting that name kind of really sucked, but it's a part of me now. It's grown. It's my middle patch. My first fight, hardly a fight.
Well, I'm Jason
What do you mean you're Jason?
because my embarrassing story is also at White Sands, but I was a little younger. And I was pissed because the boys got to run around with their shirts off. And I didn't have a bra on at the time. I was like 10 and I ain't got no boobies. And so I was like, call me Jason. Blah. And I just took my shirt off. And so like everybody's like calling me Jason now.
I had no idea. That is
But
so
now I'm like, oh my
funny.
God, I took my shirt off, like just running around White Sands Missile Range or whatever you call it, White Sands National Park. No shirt
Oh my gosh, that's
around
so
them dunes
funny.
getting my nipples sunburned.
No big deal.
I
Oh
didn't
my
put
gosh.
sunscreen on because I don't to this day. I think I'm not white.
By association.
I'm in denial. That's what it is. It's denial. Yeah. So did you have any fashion crimes? Like since we're 40, like we've gone through different, yeah, what were your fashion crimes or what would we say are
On you, I wasn't hip enough to know whether I was committing a crime or not. I
me neither.
Okay, even at 40, I have a pair of overalls. I don't give a shit. I love overalls. Overalls brighten my day. Like, they
Yeah.
just make me happy. Now I see a
And
picture of
if I
myself, I'm
like
like,
it, who
maybe
gives a
I
shit what
shouldn't
they
wear them.
think?
Yeah, but then I see a picture, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be wearing overalls. And then the next day, I'm like, fuck it, I really like overalls.
Okay, they feel good.
So that's
Yeah, who
probably my
cares?
fashion crime I'm unaware of.
What did you want to be when you were younger? Like, did you ever want to be something? Like, did you have that desire?
I only wanted to be a mom. My number one thing was to be a mom. Eventually was
We
be
know
a
that
math
wasn't
teacher.
mine.
No, I wanted to be a mom so bad. My mom, I'm the baby of five. So she just made it look effortless. She just made it look nothing but, she wasn't out throwing frisbees and stuff with us, but she just made it look like so much joy and happiness that it brought to her that how can you not want to do that? Like my mom was, man, like nothing else. So, but yeah, I did both. I get to be a teacher and I get to be a mom. So what about you?
I think I wanted to be, part of me wanted to be a teacher only because I thought that's what my mom was kind of like my mom did, you know what I mean? That I was like, okay, maybe. But like when I went to college, I wanted to be a nurse, but I didn't think I was smart enough. So I didn't go into nursing. And I never became a nurse because I didn't think I was smart enough. But now, and this is no disrespect, but also probably some, I've dealt with a lot of nurses that I know I'm definitely smart enough. I could, yeah,
I could have
I'm
done
good.
it. Yeah. You're
I'm
very smart.
definitely could have gone that path, didn't, but definitely capable. Yeah. So I'm good self confidence wise. We've grown that way.
I always wanted to, not always, as I got older, I actually wanted to be a cop. I wanted to be like FBI. I wanted to go into the military and things like that. But a lot of people were like, no, you're not strong enough. You're not emotionally strong enough. You're too weak, blah, blah, blah. You'll never make it through basics. So I never did it, but it was something that I
My
wish I would have
dad
done.
squashed that like right away because he was in law enforcement and like he was like you're a woman and like there's two types and you don't want to be the type that you're going to be because I can already tell you that you're not one of the types and you'll be labeled the other type and you'll face that your entire career. And so like he just really kind of and now I understand what he was saying. I mean, I see it in being in the career force now. Like it didn't have to be being a cop, but I'm sure that in that position I would have faced it more. Um, and honestly, what they have to deal with and the darkness that they deal with, I'm so glad with my spirit. No,
Yes, I
no.
I agree. I'm really sad that they said that about me, and I wish that I would have tried it anyways. But I can see where my little heart couldn't handle
Yeah.
all of that.
No, like I think back to it. So there was a time where Donovan was put in the hospital as an infant. He was like 5 weeks old, I think it was, and they thought his intestines had rolled. And so he was at Memorial Medical Center there in Las Cruces, and he was in that. I don't know if you've ever been in that like one emergency room where they have the Dalmatians. Um, and so my dad couldn't go in there, and that's where one of the major cases in Las Cruces um, involving a child had been that he had worked, and it was just too much for him. And I'm thinking like if this man that has seen a lot like is having trouble years after
Right.
you know what I mean, yeah. So but yeah, he couldn't even go in that room. He's like, no, this is where they took her, like I can't. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's sad.
yeah, yeah. All right, green flags and red flags at 40. Relationships, friendships, work, what we refuse to tolerate now and what we promote. um My biggest thing is red flags. Like if I spot them now, I just if I'm hip to it, uh-uh. Like I just cut it off. And I know
I'm
we
really
kind of
bad
had
about
a
cutting it off.
communicate. I know we had a communication about that the other day a little bit.
Yeah,
And I know it's hard, but like my cutoff game is strong now, and I'm so proud of myself. Like
I need that.
it's difficult, but so my dad taught me one thing, not one thing. I shouldn't say that like that, but one of the biggest things he taught me, he says it doesn't matter if it's family, it doesn't matter if it's a friend, it doesn't matter if it's anything. If it's a cancer, what do you do with cancer? You cut it out. And it's the truth. And it hurts and you have to recover and you have to do all of those things, but if not, it will fucking consume you.
Yeah. When you're so honest, it hurts.
I
Like
know.
it's true. It is true. I do. I currently have a situation where I definitely need to, and I understand it and I see it, and I still struggle with it, and I know better, and I
Yeah.
know it's consuming me, and I still am struggling to do it, and I definitely need to. I need to do that really, really bad. But one of my red flags is if I'm not being heard, which is similar to the situation. Like if I say I don't like this, I don't want this, and then it's still a question about whether or not I want it or want to do it. Hello,
Mm-hmm.
Jafar. Did I
Yeah.
not just say no? And if they ask again and again and again, eventually I just give in, unfortunately.
It's like, do I need to clean your ears out? Do you got wax? The fuck
I
is
need
going on?
to I need to have like little index cards, like something like you just said, and just be like, oh, this is my next response. just
I think you just need to
just
have
your
my
next
face on a screensaver.
just have the face. I love it. That's what I'm gonna do because I definitely need help on this one. We all need help
Yeah.
sometimes.
We do. We do. And the thing is like none of us are perfect and it's like all of us are go through things that are hard and it just takes that friend to remind us that we've got it in us. Like we can
Yeah,
do hard things, literally.
yeah.
We can do hard things. Um, so call your younger selves. What is your advice to 20-year-old Alma? No sugarcoating allowed. Not that you would.
Right. Um, I think that I would definitely tell myself it's okay to say no. I want you to say no all the time. That way it becomes a gosh dang pattern. And then yes is a privilege to somebody. Yes is
Mm-hmm.
something that people don't take for granted. So say no all the damn time without regret, without guilt. Just say no and not explain yourself.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest advice I have for myself because I feel like, I wouldn't change a lot of things, but it would have really set me up for a more better foundation, like we talked about, a more secure, independent life for myself because I
Right.
wouldn't be living for someone else. So that would be my biggest advice. Learn to say no without regret and without explaining.
I think that's pretty solid advice. Yeah. I think I would if I were to call my 20-year-old self, I think about some of the dumb shit I was doing, but where I was at 20, I you know what I would tell myself? I would tell myself, girl, the price tag that you have on yourself right now is too fucking low.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the price tag you have on yourself is too fucking low. Raise that shit up. That would be my advice to my 20-year-old self because I took way too fucking long to realize that.
Hey, do you remember when I got my first tattoo with you
Yes.
in
Do you
Albuquerque?
remember before that
Which part?
when I got my nipples pierced and you shut the lights off?
I don't remember that. I
You
don't
don't remember
remember.
fucking shutting the lights off because you got nervous and you jumped back and like shut off the lights. Why? So like the second one was very same day. I know you were nervous about your ass tattoo, but
I don't remember.
girl, yeah.
Okay, but I bring it up because so at the time I was dating someone, which ended up being my first husband. And yes, I've been divorced twice. And I'm in Albuquerque. I don't know if I was visiting you or I had something to do. I think I was just visiting you. And I had always talked about getting a tattoo. And I was like, no, I want to respect the person I'm with. They don't really like that, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, I said, I think I'm just going to do it. I think I'm going to get a tattoo. There's one I really want. And I'm already here with Jennifer. I'd feel safe doing it with her, blah, blah, blah. And he says, if you do, I'm going to have to break up with you. Now, I'm not good at saying no, but if you tell me I cannot do something, I'm very good about doing whatever the hell I want.
Oh yeah.
So my comment was, okay, adios. And you and I went and got the tattoo. And then I ended up marrying him later. But that should have been a red flag too, by the way,
Yeah.
when he said that. But that is one thing that I am proud of myself for. But if anyone ever actually tells me, no, you cannot or you will not, and it's something I want to do, I'm going to do it. So peace out.
I love that. I'm same though, and that I think that's like the stubborn side of me. Like, I'm very stubborn. If you didn't know that about me.
Is that something you're growing in, or you're just like, fuck it, it's who I am?
I embrace.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that part has hindered me yet in my life.
Well, you wouldn't know because you're being stubborn.
Shut up.
I'll call you out, girl.
That's for 50.
Okay, I'm gonna mark it in my calendar.
We have to strive a little bit at a time.
A decade at a time, or what?
For sure. I'm slow. Turtle space here. All right, so now I'm gonna do a birthday lightning round with you.
Oh gosh.
So what is aging to you?
An opportunity for another day.
What is freedom to you?
To make my choices without regret.
Love.
Um, I would say that for me, love is going with not your head, but what you feel, and accepting, like, you might not know someone in their entirety because they barely know themselves. If I love someone and I truly feel it, then all those little things I'm going to learn, their favorite color or whatever, those little things that they're grumpy in this case or whatever. I love that person, and so those are just bonuses. They're not faults anymore. So
Right.
I'm choosing to love them.
They're the little nuances of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is success?
Happiness.
Peace.
Choice.
1000%. Everyday choice, right?
But if you would have asked me that
I think
question 3 months ago, I wouldn't have been able to say that.
no, but it is a choice, and it's a choice we have to make every single day, and I'm so glad that I've learned that. Because that's the same thing with happiness. It is. And I can look at some of the most messed up situations and find humor, light, spark of joy, a positive something out of it now because it's a choice. Like you can find a lesson in anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know you're only 2 days in, but what is the best thing about 40 so far?
Not apologizing so far. I don't care anymore. I care less. I'm sure the divorce had something to do with it. But I'd like to think that 40, like I said, that cloud is not over my head anymore, and I'm not asking for forgiveness for anybody. Like, I was out there in my swimsuit and my cellulite, like, watch me climb this motherfucker. Like, if I take someone out, you were behind me. Like, I did not care. It was for fun, and that's all that mattered.
Well, and I
Unapologetic.
think, yeah, giving yourself permission to be you, right? Like loving yourself in every piece, the good, the bad, the ugly. And yeah, we all have pieces of our body that, we would, maybe alter if we could or whatever. But like why? Like at the same part, that's what makes us unique and makes us different. And honestly, we're desired for that. Like,
Right.
yeah. So we just have to learn to view it from a different perspective than what's been sold in the magazines. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. For sure.
So what do you want to close with today? What is your closing advice? You're the wise uh, elder. I say that with so much respect.
I
I
don't know
bow
that
to
that's the
you,
vibe I'm getting here, but I'll take it.
elder. To my
Under
elder, what wise wisdom do you part us with today?
there.
With her wand.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Wise wisdom now at 40. Don't wait too long for self-care, self-reflection, and self-love. Don't wait too long. Don't wait another decade. Start to figure it out now. You don't have to be divorced to get here. You just have to do you. And that's my elderly advice to someone who's 39, someone who's 30, someone who's
Raise the
20.
price tag, baby, right? Yes. Yes. All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you for hanging out with us. We hope you learned something. Drop your I guess what you gave permission for yourself. We don't care how old you are. If you're,
Yeah.
hopefully you're over 18 listening to us, because we do not have great mouths.
No.
And we don't care if you're 100 listening to us. Please drop your advice. We need to learn from you. You've got decades on us and we want to learn from you. We respect that. Thanks for tuning in.
To swallow